There it is. Denied by the Cross from the new Ross the Boss album. We welcome him.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Good to see you, man.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, we actually ran into you. I don't know, it wasn't that night at Blackthorn 51, but I ran into you there probably about a year ago now.
A year ago, yeah.
And you had your other album out, I think, at the time.
By Bloodsworn.
By Bloodsworn. Did a big tour, very successful. Following it up now with this record. And you were just saying while we were watching the video that this song is about Dracula?
Yeah. It's about the first 10 minutes of Bram Stoker's Dracula. You know, when she kills herself because the Muslim invaders threw the message that he was dead, right? So she kills herself. She falls, she throws herself out of the castle, right? And then he gets back and she's dead in front of the church, in front of the throne there, and they won't give her a proper funeral because she killed herself. So he goes berserk. He swears vengeance on the church forever. That's the story of That's the story of Dracula.
Anytime where there's vengeance is sworn, that's going to make a good metal song.
Yeah, that's the story of that movie. And there's nothing anti-Christian in our lyrics, but it was just that's that story. That's what it is. That's that's what it is.
So is that where a lot of the inspiration comes from?
Well, it comes from, like Mark Lopes, our singer, our fantastic singer, writes our lyrics, and he
gets it from all over.
He gets it from all over. He gets it from all of us. I mean, that's how it was with Manowar in the beginning. I would call out these titles of Dark Avenger and Death Tone and all this imagery and Gates of Valhalla and all that stuff, and all of a sudden the songs appeared.
Yeah. So sometimes it just starts with a title.
That's right.
Kick-ass title.
Mark is doing an unbelievable job on this next.
Talk about the guys in your band, because it is a terrific lineup.
Okay, so on bass we have Mike LaPond. He's also from Symphony X, but Mike is one of perhaps the finest bass players on the planet right now.
Yeah, no, I was gonna bring that up. He is a master.
He is as good as John Entwistle, Geezer Butler, Jack Bruce combined. I'm in awe of the guy. I just get to listen to him every night on stage, and it's like, is he really playing that? I mean, is this guy really this good?
Is it as hard as playing keyboards?
And he probably smiles.
Yeah, and he smiles.
Mike is just unbelievable,
and he's so humble.
Oh my God!
He's so unassuming.
Unbelievably.
I see him out at shows all the time.
Yep.
And he just blends into the crowd like you would never know what his fingers can do.
And then we got Steve Bolognese on drums. He was in Witherfall and Into Eternity, and now he's with us, and he's just an unbelievable drummer. I mean, you heard that. I mean, there he is on the right.
Okay.
And Mike next to him, and Mark Lopes.
What's he doing with the blonde there?
That's a little gray.
Is that gray?
Yeah.
Because he's a little blonde. He's doing no, it's gray? Okay.
It's gray.
All right. He's a young man.
He's out there getting, he wants some recognition.
Yeah.
He's going to get it.
I think I met, he is getting it. I think I met him actually at this place, this record store that's on my shirt. He's a Massachusetts guy.
Big time.
And he came and saw me at a venue up there called the Greasy Luck Brew Pub, which is a cool venue, Joe.
Is it?
Yeah, you should take that hard keyboard playing up there.
Yeah.
It used to be a bank.
Really?
So they still have the safe and everything in the venue
cool.
and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah.
By the way, a friend of mine, Ryder from Nashville Pussy, says hello to you.
Yes, I toured with them.
Mentioned Jackfish.
Yeah, Jackfish Lake. Yeah,
Jackfish Lake.
We wrote a whole movie about Jackfish Lake, Canada. Yeah, we know nothing about it, but we were just
right. So she sends her regards.
Yeah, it's like an old ghost town there, but yeah, she's good people. So you have a killer band, and you just talk about the tour you just did here in America.
We just did 26 U.S. shows all over the place. We logged up about 11,000 miles, and we wish we would have had the new record out. But I booked this tour 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you we did so well that we're going to book a second leg with the new record.
Good.
And we're going to Europe in April for a whole month with the Burning Witches from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And they have a new record coming out. They're great gals. And Assamville from England. So we have a great package. My bus is going to be crazy, man. I'm going to have 18 of us on my bus.
Are the girls going to be on the bus
Girls are going to be
too?
there, yeah. Now, what could possibly go wrong there? I don't know. But it's going to be a great tour.
Mark Lopes, wear a condom.
Please.
That's all I'm saying.
It's not that. It's my drummer is the bad one.
Okay, the drummer. You always got to watch out those drummers.
That's right. But it's going to be great because they have a new record coming out on Nuclear Blast.
Yeah.
And our record's coming out on AFM. And Mike and I played on one of their songs. They played on Battle Hymns. They redid Battle Hymns.
Okay, cool.
So Mike and I helped them out, and so it's going to be a great tour.
So when you go out and tour, obviously you're going to play some of the Manowar songs.
I'm going to have to be playing that for the rest of my life. I mean, for the rest of my metal career.
Did you do? Maybe I misread this. Did you on this last tour? Did you do Hail to England in its entirety?
A lot of times we did, yeah. Some nights we just couldn't because Mark, he just couldn't. Cause we're playing so many shows in a row.
Yeah.
It's so taxing on him, and he's so great and prepared. A lot of times we did the whole thing. Sometimes we omitted a few songs, but we're doing the new stuff, obviously. So.
Why that album in particular?
Well, it's 35 years since Hail to England was released.
Wow.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites in the collection. I brought my vinyl with me, and we'll go through them and maybe have some stories or whatever. But so that's cool. So if people come out, they're going to hear what they need to hear.
Yeah, they will not leave disappointed. They're going to get a good dose of Manowar and a good dose of RTB.
Now are your fans? Are they really starting to know the solo stuff more and more now? Because this is your fourth full length.
Fourth record.
Is Ross the Boss?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really it's coming full circle because the band is getting really known as a super live act. A Sweden rock guy called us Festival Killers.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and so all of a
sudden, to follow,
and all of a sudden we were added.
And didn't you do something with KK Downing?
Yeah. We
just get up on stage and jam with you guys.
KK played with us at Bloodstock.
Let's see if we can find that clip. Bloodstock 2019.
Yeah, this summer.
KK Downing with Ross the Boss.
We did 4 songs. He came up and played 4 songs. He hadn't been on stage in 10 years, which I couldn't believe it. And he had never played with. I don't think he said he never played with another band besides Judas Priest.
Oh wow, yeah.
And so he joined us on stage, and we had 2 days of practice at his steel mill. And there it is.
Oh, you're playing the Green Manalishi.
Yeah, I think that was our opening song.
Did you know KK? How did this come about?
I didn't know it. A friend of mine knew him, and I said, we're playing Bloodstock. And said, why don't you want to come down for beer? Come and say hello. Just come out, and then it got to, hey, would you want to play, would you want to jam? Or,
yeah.
And then it got progressively better, so that's how it happened.
Yeah, cool. And then I think that really, that got him off the couch, and then he just recently did a show at his
steel mill.
At his steel mill.
Elson, and now he's got a band together.
And Tim Ripper Owens and Les Binks, who was
going to be KK's priest.
And he's calling it KK's Priest. It's KK and Les Binks, who was the drummer for a couple albums.
Right.
Well, not the original.
Not the original.
But he played on Unleashed in the East, right. And he played on Hellbent for Leather.
Whatever it is, we're glad we could have helped out in this situation.
I think it gave him a kick in the pants, man. Yeah. To perform again. So we'll see. So now we have 2 Judas Priests. Here we go again. There's been like 9 Rats. There's been a couple of Queensryches. There's been 14 LA Guns.
He retired. He didn't quit. He did quit.
I think he did. Yeah.
Okay, because the whole thing was retired.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, from what I'm hearing. But really? I'm not. I told the whole world, the whole metal world, it's none of my business.
No.
I don't care what happened, just like people don't care what happened with me and Manowar. I don't care. I'm just glad to play with KK, and that's all I care about.
Right. No, it was very unpretty.
Yeah, really.
Not. There's definitely a lot of bad blood there. And I read KK's book. It's all in there.
Oh, it is. Yeah, because I just thought it. Just retired.
Well, that Priest was on their again their farewell tour. Mm-hmm. And and basically KK was like, I'm done. And then now of course Priest has done 3 or 4 more tours since then, like everybody does.
Yeah.
What if have they ever asked you back in Manowar?
No.
Never asked.
No. Not a.
One more time around the world, the money's right. Do you do it?
Yeah,
You would do it. All right.
of course I would.
It's an honest man. I like that.
I would. I mean, I've always said would want to play with my friends. I mean, the original Dictators are going to start recording again now. We've done it already. The French band Shakin' Street we're playing. I mean, it's a beautiful time, especially in my life now because everything's going.
Yeah.
It's going good. So why wouldn't I want to play with them?
Well, I love that you embrace your years with that band.
Of course.
And for whatever reason that you left.
Listen, it is what it is, and I never say never. I don't say no to anybody. It just has to be, good terms and everything.
Now's a good time to ask him to jam with your band. He says he doesn't say no, Joe.
Yeah, come on, join us.
Yeah.
Bring your drummer. We need a drummer too.
So cool. So let's go through some of this vinyl, and we talked to Christopher Lee. We talked about did the spoken word on the Dark Avenger.
Well, originally it was Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an original version of this vinyl. Is this Christopher Lee or is this Orson?
It's Orson Welles.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened to Christopher? Yeah.
Christopher came later.
Okay, on a re-release.
On a redo.
On a redo. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that without you?
That was without me.
Son of a bitch. All right. Well, he's still metal, but this is where it started, bro.
That's the original power metal record. That's the first. I think a lot of people look at that and saying that's the beginnings of power metal right there. And,
yeah, well, I remember hearing like Fast Taker for the first time. I was like, this is crazy fast.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really think about it, there's a lot of rock and roll songs, my songs on it.
Oh, totally.
It's
very rock and roll, but you see where it's going.
Yeah, and then we have the epics such as Dark Avenger and Battle Hymns on it.
Right. What's your memories of this?
Just getting signed. My friend Bob Curry signed us from EMI, and it was like the only guy with enough balls to sign us, actually.
Yeah.
To do something like that. And he saw me playing with Shakin' Street on the boardwalk in Asbury Park. And he said, I'm going to do something with you. Okay. And little did he know it was going to be that band.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the Orson Welles thing was amazing, being the loudest band in the world.
Right, the Guinness Book of World Records.
Absolutely. And it's for real, we're not bullshitting. And, signing the second record contract in blood.
See, maybe if Motley Crue had signed that cessation of touring agreement in their blood,
yeah,
it wouldn't have come back again.
No. How much live
I almost cut my nipple off signing that thing. We ain't coming back.
God, for that much money, I'd sign anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or now if you sign a contract saying you're never going to tour again, if you just put dynamite on it,
right.
explode it, you're good to go again.
Well,
it's a legal way of fighting.
What if you just say,
there you are.
I really didn't mean that. That's not what I meant.
Right.
I signed it, but I signed that loan, but I really didn't mean it. I have to pay for it.
I don't think anybody bought into the legality of it to begin with, but and then how do you? So it's Manowar's first album, not very well known. How do you call up? You don't just call up Orson Welles and go, "Hey, you want to do a voiceover?"
Well,
or do you?
The guy Bob Curry from EMI, he found his manager. He lived in Las Vegas, and it just so happened that Orson was coming to New York for the night of 1,000 Stars or a night of 100 Stars, whatever it was, at Radio City Music Hall. We sent him the text, and he agreed to do it. And it was like, we just got,
You must have freaked out.
I flipped out. And Curry sent a limousine for him. And it brings him to Media Sound right on 57th Street. And it's like he gets out and supposedly we were upstairs and supposedly women were fawning. Women with mink coats were like this guy's like Elvis.
Yeah.
They're Elvis,
Right.
for that generation. And he was so huge, we brought him up in the freight elevator.
So was he drinking Paul Masson wine?
I don't know, man. we were like, he's in the studio. And Joey and I are in the back there, and he's mic'd up, and his voice is so booming. And he goes, "Are the writers here?" And the woofers were shaking because his voice was so massive. And Joey and I looked at each other and go, like,
Humming.
And it was
Ralph Cramden's.
Yeah, right.
humming. And it was one of those moments that we were truly humbled. that we were unbelievably amazed that this had happened to us.
Yeah, well, and he did it a second time for you guys.
He
we'll
recorded everything.
Oh, that day, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, you got your money's worth out of Orson. Now, he was, there's a famous thing out there, on the internet. You can find him freaking out during a voiceover session. He was famous for he only does one take.
Right.
Did you have the same experience, or did he?
No, I don't think he did I think he did the take. I don't think he did multiple takes.
So he
just did whatever we told him to do.
Because he said in this, you know that clip, right, Joe? I do one take, two under protest.
Mr. Welles was right to the point.
Yeah,
if he just
certainly was.
If he did an interpretation on bunny rabbits and flowers, and we got to use it. We have to. You're not going to do it again.
That's it. That's
Maybe the album's Battle Hymns. I don't care what it's called. It's got to fit.
That's cool. You saved a little bit. Saved a little tape. That's what Saxon did. They had got Elton. They were in the same studios that Elton John was recording in. They asked him to come down and play some piano on a track that they were doing. Pardon me. And while Elton was sitting there warming up on the piano, he started playing this. What do you call it on a piano, Joe? A riff?
A riff, yeah.
He's playing just a riff to warm up to, and then after he left, they took that riff and they made a song around it. So they got two songs with Elton John for the price of one.
And I guarantee you, whatever Elton was playing was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
whatever the hell he.
Yeah, they made a song called "Northern Lady," a ballad out of it because it was kind of a slow.
Wow.
Kind of jam. Yeah.
Good for them.
So you guys did the same thing because Orson Welles returns, but Hail to England. Of course, we talked about that. You did that live in its entirety. Yeah, this is definitely, if someone had to pick one of the albums to say, where's Eric Adams, some of his best work, I'd definitely say on here.
Unbelievable.
But you could kind of say that about everybody. Now you had Scott Colombo comes in on drums.
Scott Columbus.
Sorry.
The classic lineup started with Into Glory Ride.
Yeah.
After Battle Hymns.
Right. I don't have that. I just brought the vinyl that I have. What memories of this? I know you did a cover of your own song with Ross the Boss. You did Blood of My Enemies.
Yeah. And I did Each Dawn I Die.
Okay, cool.
That record has, for many Manowar fans, that's their favorite record.
Okay.
I think just the Bridge of Death, Each Dawn I Die, Army of the Immortals, Kill with Power. Blood of My Enemies. I mean, that's amazing. It's an amazing record.
Yeah, cool.
It really is.
You know what's interesting about this record? And I always thought this before I even knew what black metal was, but Bridge of Death has that one part in it where it's like Hail Satan, and it's in that whatever he does to his voice, he has that effect on his voice.
Yeah.
That's the original.
Lord, I summon thee, demanding the eternal right to burn in hell.
Yeah, exactly. But with that effect on his voice, and you're 14 at home, and you're like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy.
I would say Bridge of Death is probably the greatest satanic song ever written. I think it probably spawned another genre.
I think so, because that's the first time I'd ever heard anything like that, Joe. You got to check that out. The middle part of Bridge of Death is, but yeah, this album from top to bottom is flawless. Why? This is 14-year-old Don with the question. Here, you're from friggin' Brooklyn or Queens.
Bronx and Queens.
Bronx, and Joey's a New York guy.
Joey's Auburn, New York, Western.
Yeah. Why hail to England? Why not hail to Queens?
Romania? Okay, so we were getting
Hail to the Bronx.
Yeah, man. We were getting all our press from the UK. All the action from Manowar. It wasn't coming from Europe yet. It was coming from Melody Maker, Kerrang, Music Man, the other NME.
NME, yep.
The magazines at the time, and it was so much intrigue about Manowar. Are they for real? Are they what they say they are? Are they the loudest band? Are they the fastest band? Because Joey was like, it was, and we were, and we had to live up to that hype. If we didn't, we'd be just. So we were getting all this blowback from England, and so finally that brought us to Europe. Yeah. Finally, and it worked. And so
you're like, well, hey, we'll name an album after England.
Sure. And Joey had the song, and there you go, Hail to England.
A great anthem.
Yep.
Then we go over to Sign of the Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
We got signed to, after Music for Nations and Megaforce and all those lovely people, we got signed to Virgin Records That's Richard Branson's 10 records, and we were signed to Virgin for the one album, Sign of the Hammer.
And there was some cool different stuff on here.
Yeah.
Like Mountains.
Thor the Powerhead.
Yeah, and it was the first time I think I ever heard a band, because a million bands have done it since, write about the Jim Jones tragedy.
Guyana, Cult of the Damned.
Yeah. And I love this record. I don't know if this is an album that you enjoy, but
Yeah.
you love it.
I love that one. Mountains is one of my favorite songs because it's so spatial, and it's just so different.
Well, it's just Joey's bass and Eric's vocal.
Drums, and then I keep my keyboards and my.
You can play keyboards?
Yeah, I do. I play.
Is it hard?
Is it tough?
Is it,
One note.
do you ever no, put it this way, do you ever smile? You never living that down, Joe.
Oh, no.
No smiling in heavy metal.
And no whistling.
Smiling.
No whistling. And this album, so this is the last album I think that you're on.
No,
It's not.
Kings of Metal.
Okay, Kings of Metal. Now, the thing I remember about this, besides the fact that you're on a major label, you're actually getting some airplay.
Yep.
But the thing I associated with, it was CDs have now taken over, and I remember that I couldn't find this on vinyl. I have all the other Manowar on vinyl. I couldn't find this. I could only get the CD. Now, of course, it's been reissued, so this is a reissue. But I don't know if it ever came out on vinyl or not.
I think it did.
Yeah.
The first digital record, Fighting the World,
Okay.
that I know of. I don't know of any other digital. It was the first digital recording. We recorded it on this thing called the Synclavier, and for the first time, and we had programmed drums, which our drummer Scott Columbus hated, but we were embracing this new technology.
Yeah.
And that's what we came up with. That was the first all digital record.
And I know a lot of Manowar fans who this is their favorite album. So
Well, you know what? It's a great record.
depends on when you came up.
Black Wind, Fire and Steel, Holy War.
And then of course you have your little snippet that you saved, you put to the side for a rainy day of Orson Welles.
A Defender.
Defender.
Absolutely. Carry On.
And that's where you guys got a little more radio friendly with
That's
a couple
right.
of songs. Carry On.
Carry On.
That was
And
a bona fide hit.
who did the pre-production on that record was Eddie Kramer.
Oh, wow.
Really? Wow.
So, yeah, Joe, could you tell what inspired the cover? What album cover does that look like?
Oh, God. Kiss.
Yeah, there you go.
Kiss.
And that was Ken Kelly's first Manowar cover.
Yeah, who did the Kiss Destroyer?
It's Destroyer.
Oh, cool.
And he told me I was the first guy he drew.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
And your last name is The Boss.
Boss, so I got to go first.
have to.
No. Ken Kelly has done every single Manowar cover since that.
You guys got great album covers, and the album cover back in the day, that the album cover was just as important as the album.
Because it was that
liner
big.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
a
that
piece
big.
of
It
art.
looked cool, and it's and plus the liner notes, getting the liner notes. That's something that's
Actually read it.
Yeah, no, this is
Big enough to read.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's three old men sitting here. We could, but now of course we can't read it unless we use
here.
the
Specs.
flashlight app
Gotta get my
on our
specs.
phone. All right,
Not only we can't read, we can't hear.
what kind of apps are we getting? Fighting the world every single
Filth,
day.
blood, death.
Yeah, but this is
Manowar lyric generator.
yeah, exactly. But this is another great record. I was so glad to find this on vinyl. Now, do you have any of the old costumes?
They're all at the Manowar Museum, I believe.
There's a
I didn't
museum?
take any of that. Yeah, I believe
Where's
so. It's
that?
up in where they live, up in Auburn.
Okay.
They have all the old stuff there.
Because I was gonna ask you if you ever put on the old loincloth now and again.
Well,
run around the house. maybe?
Listen. I'm going to deny that I ever wore one. I did not wear the loincloth.
Joey wore a
Joey
loin.
and Eric, yeah.
And Eric would, yeah, definitely wore. Well, there's Joey wore like a thong.
Yeah, the three of them, yeah. You see the boss man there wearing pants?
Yeah, that's true, Ross. I don't want to sell you down the river.
Well,
You're
you know
right.
what?
I agree.
My son was very disturbed when he first saw that picture.
He was.
And but I don't know, man. I don't think that look aged well. I don't know. Well, it was the 80s.
If people want to see the loincloths and the
I want to
costumes,
see that.
and
Listen.
they go up to Auburn, New York. Is that what
Yeah,
they
they
do?
book a trip up there and
Yeah.
contact them. I'm sure they'll get a tour of the Manowar Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you happen to be going to Auburn, New York on your honeymoon or something,
Listen, I'm proud of what we all did.
of course you are.
We did.
And I could tell by going through the albums with you that you are. And I'm glad that you embrace all the same things with the Ross the Boss Band, which is the imagery, and obviously your playing is unmistakable. So that's always going to be there. You find a lot of fans who had discovered you as Ross the Boss and then had to go back
That's
and
true,
find
and
Manowar.
they're finding all my other bands too. So, I've been at it since 1975 professionally. So there's been a lot of records, like 38 records.
Wow.
And there's the other band, Death Dealers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
Another record coming out in the summer. So that's the third one. So there's so many records and so many things good. But as long as I keep working and I'm happy with the guys I'm playing with, I love them, and we're doing good.
Yeah, you're doing great. So you're going to Europe. What any favorite places in the world to play? Whether it be America,
Spain is awesome.
Spain.
Spain has always been great for us. Germany, of course.
Yeah, that's Manowar stronghold.
Manowar territory,
Yeah.
and we're putting together a South American run, and so wherever there's heavy metal.
And Australia, right?
Oh yeah,
doing
we were
Australia
just in
also.
Australia.
Don't forget about them. Yeah.
Excuse me, brothers and sisters. We were just there in November, and we did really well.
Yeah.
We did New Zealand and Australia.
Cool.
And we met so many great people. That was our second time there. Second time. And all the bands were canceling. We came again. So,
There you go.
Yeah.
So check out the new Ross the Boss album. Comes out Friday, March the 6th. It's called Born of Fire. See, that's just like, it looks cool. I would, like Joe said, you just see that and you go, yeah, I'm buying that.
Yeah, exactly.
The artwork is by Ken Kelly. Not Ken Kelly. Stan W. Decker.
Stan Decker.
From France, and he's an amazing artist. He's really incredible. No longer do we have a big guy with a sword on our record cover. We have that,
Yes.
which to me is a lot more attractive.
Oh, me as well. I mean,
Come on there, guys.
That looks cool, but
Sure, that's cool. It's good. This is good because it's like, did you really have 12-pack abs back then? But you did here.
It's right there.
You never know. It's all right.
No.
As long as your hands still work, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Thank God it does.
But yeah, no, the imagery is killer. Was Manowar always known as Manowar?
Yes.
Okay, so that was the first name from the beginning.
It took us a while to get the name, though, until we stumbled upon it, until actually Doc, our equipment guru, rest in peace, my friend, he came out with like, well, why not Manowar? I mean, it was like, we were thinking of like, ICBM, Pax Romano, all these names, crazy names, when
Pax Romano?
Yeah, that was the pack. That was the pack that you had the Roman nations.
Oh, wow.
We were like crazy. I'm crazy, and we're just trying to think of anything. When you're trying to get a name, and then all of a sudden Doc like goes, "Well, what's wrong with Manowar?" And Joey and I looked at each other, goes, "That's it.
That's it.
That's the name.
That's the name
That's
of
a
the
cool name.
Right.
Says it all.
Send a PA.
It
Send a
actually
PA
does.
out for loincloths.
That says it all. Metal, cool.
It was like
rocks.
lightning. It was. I remember that day distinctly. It was like a strike of lightning down on it. That's the name of the band.
Yeah.
That says it all about it.
Because there's an interesting thing that an article about. There's a band names that we're glad didn't stick. So I'm adding Pax
Romano.
Pax Romano to that list.
Romano.
Thank God that didn't.
It's an actual thing.
Yeah. But I thank God that was. I mean, this would look silly. That's it. Pax Romano.
I would never doubt. It would,
Nobody's buying that.
we were like struggling to find the name of the band.
Like Black Sabbath. Do you remember what the original name was? Well, before Earth, they were the Polka Tulk Blues Band.
Oh my goodness.
Polka Tulk
Really?
Blues Band. Yeah.
That
is a horrible
we were
name.
struggling for a name, boy. I'll tell
That's
you.
almost as bad as Pax Romano.
Yeah, really.
The Polka Tulk Blues Band.
Kentucky Blues Band.
Finding a band name is hard.
Especially-
It really is.
Especially these days.
Yeah.
They've all been used.
Yeah.
And inspired by Black Sabbath, once they found the right name, Van Halen was originally Rat Salad, which is
Rat
a Sabbath
Salad,
song. Not terrible,
Bad.
but
You don't want to go through your whole life as Rat Salad, but you know.
right, that VH is so cool and classic. Like the RS just
When your name is staring you, when it's staring you in the face your whole life, and you didn't know it, and you know it now. I mean,
And it's just the way the logo looks. I went to a branding meeting on how to brand your logo. Yeah, we never got it right, but we saw, it's just the whole thing, the way it plays out, makes or breaks the band, makes or breaks the album. It's that
absolutely,
important.
and especially in this day and age where everything has to be easily something easy so people can look it up on Google, on social media, stuff like that. So there's a million
that's why
other
bands fight for their names.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's the only name I could use for my band. I wasn't going to start on it with another name. It had to be Ross the Boss because I've been that since 1975.
right.
I can't go turn my back on and say, oh, we're gonna, this band is a new name now.
Right. If Joe Curry came up to me and goes, hey, got to check out this band, look him up on the internet, Pax Romano, I'd forget it in 2 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, right.
He comes to me and says, Manowar. I go, okay, simple.
Yeah,
Manowar, bing, bang, boom. I'm a fan.
I mean, my people know my name. People know me by my name.
Oh, absolutely. Ross, it's like Ross, I'm like, cool. I know that guy.
You had no option.
I have no options in that.
Earl Jam.
Earl.
Remember what their original name was? Named after a basketball player.
Ooh.
Mookie Blaylock.
Blaylock.
That was the name. Yeah, they're called.
You know the Who? What the Who were called?
Ooh, I wonder if it's on the list. Hold on. Let's see. Nope.
The High Numbers.
Oh, that sounds like a 50s doo-wop,
Yeah.
right?
Mod.
Yeah, mod type of deal.
High Numbers. The Who. They became the Who.
Yeah, much better with the.
I'd rather have the Who.
These are all better, but then you see like Led Zeppelin, and you go, well, until it was Led Zeppelin, it was kind of a dumb name, right?
Who gave them? Keith Moon gave them that name. Yeah, that name.
So we're gonna go over like they had a different band. We're gonna go like a
Led Zeppelin. Yeah, that's the name. Well, there's the name.
This is my favorite one, and it's so funny because it's just funny because of the band. But REM, you know what their original name was? Cans of Piss. Shiny Happy People were once called Cans of Piss, which is a term that means people like you when you play in Europe, right? If they throw cans of piss at you.
Yeah, I haven't done.
You've never been hit with a can of piss?
Not yet. Now that you said it.
Going out on the road soon.